Well, the first set of pictures I'm showing were taken in 2008 they were the outcome of my first course in photography, analog photography. And I think here's where you can start seeing my fascination towards people, especially elderly people. It was once a week for a month. So I would go to the city, stayed for the course in the morning, and then during the afternoon maybe wander around and take pictures. These two were taken in a photographic outing we had to el Cementerio de la Recoleta. It's quite a popular cemetery and one of my favorite places in Buenos Aires. I really like this picture because the more I see it, the more things I discover. For example, I took it just because of these two women, but well, you could see that you have the grandma and the grandma and the mother and the child. So it's like the circle of life in a way. I really like this picture. And yeah, they are from 2008, as you can see, well, in the back. So these are the very first ones I took, but then deliberately I once decided to go searching for elderly people. I remember this was a Saturday in September, beginning of September 2008 also. I went during the whole afternoon and evening with my camera trying to find elderly people. And I remember walking through the street. I went especially into this kind of posh neighborhood where there are a lot of little coffee stores, and you can find them there having some coffee alone or in a group of people. And I was walking and I saw this coffee in a corner, and I saw this rather big group of ladies, and they were having some coffee there. Yeah, I was a bit shy, but I said, okay, yeah, let's do this. So I approached them and I asked them if I could take a picture of them. And of course, their first reaction always is like, a picture of us? Why? We're so old and we're not pretty. And I was like, I always try to, in a way, yeah, try to express my emotion, like, no, I love your necklace and your yellow sweater. And yeah, you can, this is a little bit out of focus, but you can see she's super happy, and yeah, I love it. You can also see my kind of, I was starting to take photos, so some of them are not really light or out of focus, but this is also a reflection of my knowledge by then. I was 14, so. This picture, it's called Monday, lunes in Spanish, and I took it in a place close to my house. It's very green space, and there you have this restaurant. I saw these two, like a couple. They didn't know I took a picture. And I don't know for you, but for me it's quite a sad picture. It has a lot of, yeah, super sad. I don't know what just happened, but both of them, they don't seem really happy. And also the rose in the middle, I think it's another symbol of love, but at the same time they are not. They seem worried. And at that moment I was really, really sad because I broke up with my boyfriend, so I had this also. Yeah, I was sad, so I guess these pictures also reflects my emotions. This guy, I was walking into this green area, which is also one of my favorite parts in Buenos Aires, the botanical garden. And I remember being there and coming out, and outside of the garden you have this square with some chess tables. So I remember going there and speaking with some guys that they were playing chess, old guys, and there was this one guy who was a master of the chess. And then I kept walking and I saw this guy. He was reading a book. You can see the book is under his hands. And he was reading so peacefully and quietly, and I just loved it. And I remember going there and speaking with him, and I spoke with him for maybe 2 hours. I mean, when I approached him, it was afternoon, and the picture is rather dark. I recorded that conversation. I don't even know where I have it, but he was such an interesting guy, super calm. I remember he told me he was called Juan Carlos or some bold name like that. Yeah, I remember he told me he used to write, and then he also worked for a publisher of books. You can see he has one book under his hands and one book next to him. He even wrote an address for me to go and see his publisher. And we talked for like, I don't know, so much time. He told me so many things, so many anecdotes. It was so nice. You can see this picture is amazing. It tells so many things. This is a series of pictures. Sometimes I approach people like this guy, and sometimes I don't, like the previous one. With this woman, I first saw her walking on the street, and I just thought it was beautiful. I think she has her pajamas, and she had to buy something, so she put her coat on and went on the street. So I first took this picture, and I thought, oh my God, this woman is amazing. So I stopped her, and I started talking to her, and I took this picture. And of course, I always say like, hey, can I take a picture? And they would go, why? And I would say like, well, because I think you are beautiful. And I tried to remark something I liked from them, especially from her. I really like her thing in her hair and her hair itself, and the glasses, and the color of the lips, and the skin that matches the thing that she has on her head, and also her little trousers. So yeah, and then I took this picture. She was a little bit more relaxed by them. And I remember she gave me the phone of her daughter, so I could arrange with her daughter to send her these pictures, which I never did, and I'm not proud of it, but that's part of this story. And yeah, and then she left, and I also took these. So I think in a way you can see some sort of story, narrative. When she came, we spoke, and then she left. Yeah, I really like this series of pictures. Then I have this series, which I did in Chile. I went for maybe a week to a festival with a very good friend of mine, and yeah, the impression I had, it was rather similar to Argentina or Buenos Aires. I took some pictures. I had this super cute couple. It was in a market, and they were selling, T-shirts, and I think they also quite look like for elderly, that they would just sell them for themselves. Yesterday I was looking at this picture, and I'm not sure, I think they are a couple, but he is much more older than her, so maybe she's his daughter, that's her daughter, I don't know. But anyway, they look really happy also, they are smiling. And that's something that I also find really interesting, how some of them laugh or at least don't care, but some of them are very they want to know why I want to take a picture, or they don't want me to take a picture, like this lady. So these kind of places are super common in Buenos Aires or in the provinces. Was in Chile anyway. It's just one of those shops where you can buy stuff when you forget about something. And I remember going in there and I thought, oh my God, this is so amazing, such a scenographic place. And these were taken by a disposable camera I took for the trip. And I just asked her, like, hey, can I take a picture of you maybe? This is so beautiful. And she was so grumpy, like, no, I don't like pictures, no. And I remember my friend paying for the things, and I just went, and then she went crazy. She was like, oh my God, I said no, just give me the camera, erase it. And I was like, yeah, sorry, I cannot do it. And I left, and at least I had a picture. She was so grumpy, I remember. Yeah, it's also a bit dark. I don't know if I put my finger on it or what, but wow, you can see all the juices. And this is called Jesus. I can't remember if it's someone who helps at my friend's house or if he's just someone who lives in the neighborhood. But I saw him quite a lot, so at some point I said, okay, I'm going to take a picture of him. I quite like this picture with him being on the center. Maybe you noticed, but this is maybe someone from middle class, a little bit lower. At least this is how it looks, and this is how it would look, someone. Yeah, maybe I think he looks like a very hard worker man. I think he was Jesus. Maybe Danny can help me with this. Yeah, he has some things on his chest. I really like, and his, I can't remember the name, okay. This is I love this picture. Very happy picture. It was taken in Pinamar. This is the coast of Buenos Aires, 4 hours away from the city. And they were two friends, and they were called Hortensia and Margarita. And both are names of flowers. So I thought, wow, this is amazing. And they were two friends, they were on holiday, but the two friends had names of flowers. How crazy is that? I love it. And they were so happy, and they were so joyful, and they even smiled for the picture. So I had a very nice memory from them. This guy, I met him while waiting for a friend. We met in the corner of a very busy street in Buenos Aires. It's also like a meeting point, Plaza Italia. It's actually in front of the botanical garden I told you before, and quite close to this area. This is Palermo. Yeah, he was waiting there, standing up, super bold also. I really like his glasses. They are kind of Jarvis Cocker style. He was just there waiting with a yellow bag next to him, and I just went and asked him, like, hi, hello, and we started talking, and I asked him, can I take a picture of him? So I took a few pictures, and I remember that we talked for maybe 20 minutes, and at the end, he started flirting with me. Maybe he thought I took the pictures because I liked him or something, but I can't remember the exact words. But when I left, he was like, okay, well, you know where to find me. I hope to see you back soon. Something like that. And I remember walking away like, what is going on here? But I really like this picture. This is Celia. This is the only person I know out of this series. She's the grandmother of one of my best friends from childhood. We used to live really close, and she was always in my friend's house, so she knows me, and I know her quite a lot, or at least she more than me, because I was young by then, so I don't remember her that much. And maybe 10 years later, when I was 16, something like that, 17, she moved out of Buenos Aires to another province, Cordoba, and I went to visit them. I was on holiday and I went to visit them, and I took this picture. And again, the quality is not really good, but I very like this picture. Maybe it's because of my emotions attached to it, but I really like the blue background with her blue handkerchief and her glasses and her hair. She looks so beautiful. The way she wrapped her arms, you cannot see them. I think it's funny, but I love it. It's so nice. Then she's still smiling. And the last one, this is here in Groningen, is the only one I have from here. You may know this guy. I actually saw him for the first time when I took this picture. And after that, I started seeing him everywhere. He quite often walks with his dogs. He has 4 little puppies. And he's such a character. He has a lot of earrings and a blue nail, and the way he dresses. I love him. He also has some makeup. I just love him. I think he's so amazing. And yeah, I think when I was looking at them and going through them, I think at the beginning I was very much attracted to them because of the way they dressed or how they looked. And over the years, of course, that is related to it, but I started appreciating more their vitality and the fact they are so healthy and active, and that they are still meeting with their friends, and that they are still meeting with their husband for dinner, or going on holiday with her best friends, or just walking their dogs in a sunny day and still caring for themselves. And yeah, I completely admire that, and I hope I can reach their age and still be active and happy and positive about life like them.